What's up, Teen Talk fam? It's your host, Deshaun B, and I'm here with
your boy DJ Dede in the building.
Miss KK.
Your boy B Shaw.
And Aaron.
Thank you all for tuning into our show. Today we will be playing Did You Know Census Edition. The rules are very simple. Each player will be asked a question that pertains to the census. A census aims to count an entire population of a country and at the location where each person usually lives. So moving into our very first question of the hour, which community resources rely on census number to receive funds all the way to the local level? Is it A, Title I grants to local education agencies? Is it B, Community Development Block Grants Entitlement Program? Is it C, Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act programs? Or D, Foodie East Community programs? And it's going to be multiple answers. So you guys just let me know which ones you feel is correct. It will be more than one answer. But I'm going to start with you, Miss KK. I see you raise your hand. You know, you must know.
Okay, I know for a fact it's not the last one because I've never heard no foodies, nothing. I don't think that exists. But I feel like I know it's definitely A. I'm going to say it's definitely A and it's not D.
Okay, and to even provide more clarity, Title I grants provide financial assistance to schools and school districts with high numbers of children from low-income families to help ensure that all children meet state academic standards. So that's definitely one of them. Aaron, what you got?
I think it's a B. I think it's B.
Okay.
When in doubt, just choose B. What was B again?
Now, community development programs provide annual grants to cities to help provide decent housing and suitable living conditions. So, A. B is important. DJ Dede, what you got for us?
Let's go.
I'm gonna go with D.
She told you that D didn't exist. But you know.
Okay, C.
You can't do that. You cannot do that.
Hey, we gonna look. This is the first round. We letting y'all warm up.
Okay,
but
fine.
See, Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act programs provide financial support for employment and training services, including job searching, career counseling, placement assistance, and relocation assistance. So all three of those things are affected by the census. So if you guys know somebody who did not complete the census, just know they tapping into the money that can be going to those programs. Moving on to our next question. What can people do to help with the census process? Is it A, fill out the census for your household? B, bribe a friend? C, encourage others to complete the census? Or D, you can also make sure your state and local governments are actively supporting the census with awareness campaigns. Now I'm gonna give this one to Brandon. Brandon, what's your answers?
I mean, a lot of those sounded correct.
So let me know which one is correct because it is more than one answer.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go with the one where you said encourage others to fill out the census and fill out the census yourself, and make sure your government is doing what they got to do and doing their part.
Okay. So he got the answers A, C, and D.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that you can't do is bribe a friend. You shouldn't be bribing nobody to complete the census. Now this next one is gonna get a little hard. I was being nice the first two rounds. Now for our next question, what year was the first census and who was the first president? Is it A, 1850 and Thomas Jefferson, B, 1875 and George Washington, C, 1720 and John F. Kennedy, or D, 1790 and George Washington? Now, don't all answer at one time. I know y'all over here looking focused. So, you know what?
I have one.
Okay, Aaron.
This feels like Family Feud.
You said you going with who?
A.
Okay, so you going with 1850 and Thomas Jefferson. So I'm gonna note that you said A.
I
Going over here to DJ Dede. What you got for us?
I got C, because if you love money, you obviously know George Washington was the first president because he's on the $1 bill, correct?
Oh, but for C is 1720 and John F. Kennedy. You going with C still?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Ms. KK, what's your answer?
Okay, this one is hard because I know Thomas Jefferson had a lot to do with like voting and all of that stuff. So I do remember Thomas Jefferson the most. I don't really know a lot about George Washington, but like DJ Dede said, George Washington is the first like actual president. So I'm going to say George Washington. I'm just going to say the second date that you said, which is D.
Okay. Brandon, how about you?
I mean, I don't really know much about George Washington, but I do know that Thomas Jefferson did write the Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to go with B, right?
Okay. Y'all gave some real good answers, and if I was you, y'all should be very proud. But the answer is D. 17.
No.
George Washington. But
Yo,
hey,
yo,
y'all
Jay,
were right. Now I'm gonna explain why that's the answer. But you guys are right. We're breaking down Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. So George Washington was president of the United States on Census Day, August 2nd, 1790. And the Secretary of State, which was Thomas Jefferson, was the supervisor of the census, which I didn't even know the census had a supervisor, but that's how both of those kind of came into play. But y'all doing good. You're learning. See, that's what matters. You're learning.
Day said JFK. That man was not alive in the 1700s.
I feel like he said the wrong answer on accident. He said George Washington when he explained it. So I don't think he meant John F. Kennedy. But I couldn't tell him too much. But moving on to our next question. What is the period of time between each census in the United States? Is it A, 5 years, B, 7 years, C, 10 years, or D, 12 years? Hey, Ron, what you got?
Ooh, pick me.
I'm gonna pick you.
10 years.
Right. Okay. So anybody who got the answer, you trying to be first, because that's how you get your point. So all right, Ron, you doing good. I don't know who winning right now. I'm gonna have to check with the storekeeper in a bit. But moving on to our next question. What percentage of households mailed back their completed census form in 2010? Is it A, 56%, B, 36%, C, 85%, or D, 74%? Okay, Aaron, since you wanted to be the lucky one, what you got?
Hey, you can let Kayla go.
Nah, you already started. Come on, let us know. Be confident.
The 76% one.
So you talking about 74?
Yeah.
Okay. And Miss KK, what's your answer?
You go give me the answer choices again.
Yes. So A is 56%, B is 36%, C is 85%, and D is 74%.
I'm gonna go with the 84%.
Why y'all want to keep making up numbers?
It was a lot of numbers. I just know I want to go with the one in the 80s because I feel like a lot more people might have returned them than not. So I'm gonna go with the highest one.
Okay. So the answer is D, 74%.
Let's go!
Look. Aaron is just getting lucky. He went about 4 points. Y'all need to step this up. I need to see some from Brandon, Day, and Miss KK, because we're not about to let Aaron win right. Because it's a fluke. He guessing. He just giving them good guesses.
Heck no.
Which of the following states have a population of less than 1 million people? Is it A, California, B, Maine, C, Rhode Island, or D, North Dakota? KK, I'm gonna give this one to you.
Okay, I'm in between Maine and Rhode Island because even though Rhode Island looks super small on the map, I don't hear anything about Maine. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say Maine because I know Rhode Island is on the the East Coast by New York and stuff. So they might be highly populated.
You know what? They was one of the first 13 colonies taking you back to school.
I remember.
DJ, yes, Aaron. What's your answer?
I know California has like 9 billion people over there.
They got too many people. They coming to Vegas.
I have no idea about Rhode Island. I think Maine is a little bit above. I think I'm gonna say North Dakota.
Okay, and how about you, DJ? There.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I was gonna go with North Dakota as well, actually.
Okay. How about you, Brent?
North Dakota?
I actually know some people from North Dakota. I've never heard nobody say I'm from Maine, so I'm gonna have to go with Maine.
And I don't know nobody from North Dakota. But the correct answer is North Dakota. So go ahead and give Aaron and DJ Day a point. Yes, they got less than 1 million people. Who there? Like who there? But for how long does the census information remain confidential and protected by law? Is it A, 10 years, B, 26 years, C, 55 years, or D, 72 years? Okay. Y'all go ahead. Don't all answer at once. Y'all go
I'm letting
ahead.
Aaron go. We already know Aaron got an answer.
Yes.
Aaron, what you got?
I'm going to choose. Wait. C is 55, right?
Yes.
And D is like in the 70s, right?
72.
I'm going to say. Wait. What is A and B again?
So I'm gonna do everybody this favor. I'm gonna reread the question and the answers.
Okay,
Thanks.
cool.
For how long does the census remain confidential and protected by law? Well, I should say your census information. So anything you send in, is it A, 10 years, B, 26 years, C, 55 years, or D, 72 years?
55.
Okay. Got you down for 55. How about you, DJ Dede?
I'm gonna go at 72 years.
Okay, I guess 72. What about you, Miss KK?
I kind of just want to say 10 years because I do know census information can be shared. So I don't think they would keep it confidential for that long. But maybe personal information might be kept that long. I don't know, but I'm going to just say 10 years.
Okay. How about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with KK because like we need the information for the census,
Yeah.
so only 10 years, and I can keep it for longer.
Okay. So the census information is actually kept for 72 years. And you
Wow.
fill out the census every 10 years. So they keep record of your stuff. It's generational.
Okay.
You can actually go back and check when your grandparents first filled out the census.
Is that because it's your own personal information? So like what your personal household is going through and not necessarily your neighborhood information?
So it's more so your personal information than the neighborhood, because the neighborhood's changed, but most people's information kind of stay in the same area, just kind of depending, but you're able to track it. So I thought that was kind of dope to know exactly what your answers were when you first filled out the census versus you kind of being like in your 50s or 60s, filling it out a little bit older. But before I go, I got to ask, what was one thing you guys learned from today's census edition?
Ooh.
North Dakota has a population less than 1 million people.
Okay. How about you, Ms. KK?
Brandon May is playing us, but I would say the Thomas Jefferson and George Washington situation, because I knew Thomas Jefferson was a big pivotal person when it came to, the Constitution and democracy and all of that. So it's kind of nice to know he was a secretary, which I personally feel like he should have been president. But I remember in the history books that George Washington was president because they needed a strong leader. So somebody who could just look like they're a good leader, but not actually be a good leader. So
by default.
He was there by default and because people liked him on the popular vote. So that's something to think about.
How about you, Brandon? What you learned today?
I learned that last question you did earlier about how they keep your info for the census private for so long, for 72 years.
That's a long time to keep somebody.
Yeah.
And how about you, A.A. Ron? Our winner of the trivia today. What you learned?
The defending crown of literally every Teen Talk trivia, me. But I actually guessed on the North Dakota one, and I had no idea that it was less than 1 million people that reside there.
Me either. And Aaron, you won by 5 points for everybody else. Y'all was tied for second. So that should make you feel good. At least you went on third, fourth, and fifth. But thank you all for tuning into the Teen Talk discussion. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas at 881. Also, check us out at teentalkvegas.com. Keep it locked for more Teen Talk.